maybe the controllers. We don't have the lighthouses. We don't have cables. So you got the headset and controllers. We still need some optional accessories. I'm thinking like a Valve, the Deckard ceiling swing. Welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. I'm Old Man Vin, joined every week by Jordan Savong, and together with you, Shot Realm Dynamic, helping us form Cocaine Voltron, baby.
2 canes, 1 cup.
We saved it. We were talking in the pre-super shows, and we both showed up with like, I got shit to talk about, and Jordan's like, I got shit to talk about too. Let's talk about it. You get the better story. You get the more established timeline of never having seen The Crow.
Correct. I was a child when the movie came out. I remember a lot of my peers had seen The Crow and talked about it.
Yeah.
I had a very, let's call them conservative set of parents who did not like me watching violent content. So I never watched it. I wasn't able to like sneak out or I never like watched it at a friend's house. No, none of my friends that had it.
Slide you a VHS tape. Be like, hey, yo, man.
Yeah, man. You want some
Crow?
Copied VHS tapes. Got some Dragon Ball Z episodes too. Without the commercials even. No, so I haven't watched The Crow, but like I've lived in a post-Crow world. I'm vaguely aware of what it is via cultural osmosis. So we have Friday movie night with the kid, trying to culturize him. And so perusing the local video store, it's like, oh, The Crow. I think he's like 14, 15 years old. Prime time to be exposed to The Crow. This is when you can get exposed to a lot of these ideas and it just make it your entire fucking personality.
I mean, didn't you just like take the fucking face paint out of the fucking bag? Like, here you go. You'll need this later. Yeah.
This was mine. I'm handing it down to you now. The face paint and the trench coat. No, but like, you know, the movie holds up.
No, it's gonna be like the fucking Batman reveal, like from the wall. You're like, here we go.
Movie holds up. Brandon Lee has some fucking charisma, man. I don't think I was prepared for how charming that dude actually is in that fucking movie. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, if that dude was still alive, he'd be a fucking megastar. My God.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Like, yeah.
That ain't, Skank's dead, man. Yeah. Skank's dead.
Fucking dude from Twin.
Dude, the crash test dummy of a villain.
Yep.
And the ginormous pile of cocaine.
Yep. So if you were wondering how the youths react to The Crow, the child, I quote him as saying, "This movie is the definition of cool." He's like, this is the coolest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, okay, given that you have been brought up on modern cinema, like, point of comparison, The Crow is like really good. It's really ahead of its time.
Well, you think about like, it's got that Dark City era of timelessness to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's also got that a bit of like cheeky irreverence to it that like a lot of movies didn't really have. Like the bit where they're like, freezing, if you move, we'll shoot you. And he's just like dancing off the fucking out of the window. It's like, yeah. But again, just comes back to, man, like Brandon Lee, dude, like, my God.
Cutting edge special effects. You know, the shotgun through the hand? Or was it a regular? Yep.
Yeah. I think it was a regular gun, but yeah.
Oh God, dude, like loading the barrel up with like the rings and shit. And like, oh, there's just so many seats. Like I haven't seen this movie since like the 90s, man, and it's like coming back to me. It's got the fucking 9 Inch Nails pumping in the background.
Oh yeah, dude, it's like the Cure is like it is the gothiest fucking movie of all time.
Yeah,
like
you better
dude.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, it's I totally get why people were obsessed with it back in the 90s. Like again, it's kind of like The Critic in that like someone made this back then. This is like very modern, and you would think it would like run into that sort of Seinfeld problem, but it really doesn't, because it's like very genuine.
Oh no, the kid's gonna be patient zero to his friends.
Yes. as is design.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because the wife is like, yeah, no, I was about his age when I saw this movie, and I made it my whole personality. So
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Just make sure they never see the sequel, which I went to the theater and saw it. I was like, I'll never forget that. Or watch, or for comedical purposes, watch Stairway to Heaven, which was the TV series.
Right.
Where he crowed out every episode. It was adorable. I also watched something myself. We're going to get to the links. You've already hit the timestamps, whatever. I watched Devil May Cry, the animated series on Netflix. I'm like, I'm finally just going to watch something while it's like relevant, not 3 or 4 years later, like Castlevania, where I'm like, hey guys, Castlevania was great. Like, yeah, we know. Shut up. Like, okay, fine. It undulates is the right word when coming to animation quality of this show. So, like the choreographed, the fight scenes, up close stuff, brilliantly animated. There's this one scene in the diner. I think it's like episode 1, maybe, where he like walks into the diner and he sits down, has a sip of a. That looks like that was painted and animated by an intern who gave that project to someone on Fiverr. Like this is how far apart. It was very shocking. There was an interesting character in there until you find out who it was towards the end, and I didn't hate it. I'd give it 2 out of 4 chairs on that. Like it was watchable, but you said people were like the internet was angry about it for some reason, right?
So I'm an occasional listener of the Castle Super Beast podcast. They were talking about it with Gene Park. And yeah, they didn't seem to like it, and they were all fans of the game. So like, the gist they said was like, as a standalone thing, if you don't know anything about Devil May Cry, it's okay. As an adaptation, it's dog shit.
Okay, because I know people fight and get like people get mad at the DMC, like the reboot that they tried to do. First DMC I ever touched, and I'm like, this was pretty good. I like this. And to this day, I think that has a superior like fighting mechanic in it. Like it flows better than DMC 5, which I've rolled credits on both of those. And like, that's all the story I know. I don't even know the backstory. I tried to go back and play like DMC 1 through 3, but they're just too old, dude. Like I didn't care enough. So there you go. I've been working on something. And by something, it means I opened up an Inkscape earlier this week.
That's never a good sign.
No, it's not. It's not, you know, Inkscape, you got a dark mode now, so you don't burn my fucking retinas out and it prompts you, like, right when you open it up, which was dope. YouTube's been up our ass, like, do some shorts, do some clips, and all this, and I'm like, nah. We just put in timestamps, like, a week ago, like, get off my ass. But I'm not doing shorts, Jordan. We're not doing shorts. We made a couple of test shorts. Too much of a pain in the ass. The format for shorts is like too weird. Do you watch shorts though, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
How do they like handle situations like ours?
So yeah, usually it is like it is kind of like more or less like the test shorts that you made a couple months ago. I do remember seeing those.
Jumping back and forwards constantly.
Where whoever's talking is going to be like the person on the screen or whatever. And yeah, they're just like excerpts and like fun bits out of podcasts, or they're either that or they're making like short specific content. Like I follow Cell Sword Arts because I like pretending I want to learn how to sword fight. Yeah. And they do a lot of like shorts based content, but it's like very much a very quick like question and answer format type thing of like, here's the question, here's the answer, in and out in like a minute, which like is a good format for that kind of stuff.
Well, they've extended like shorts to be 3 minutes long, dude.
Yeah, those I'm not super big a fan of. I'm looking for like in and out in like a minute. I think that's kind of not quite like Vine length, maybe, but like maybe a little longer.
Yeah, like I've done a couple of test shorts just to like, not even to see if it got views, but like, I was putting it out as I made it, but to see what the workflow was going to be. Way too much work. Like way too, like I'd get one done. It took like fucking like 35, 40 minutes.
And like all the guys who are like putting out shorts, like they have editors, right? Like
they got somebody dedicated doing shorts. And I'm like, what can we do to like, I'm like, I don't want to do like clips and all that. So here's what I came up with, Jordan. What do you think?
Linux game capris.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Too long for shorts. Too short for pens. So here's my bright idea. Story segments. Just clip that shit and put it up. Do you think that'll work?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I guess it would like highly depend on segment to segment, but like
Yeah.
I don't see why.
I have no idea. Like I realize that we've lost the fucking war for getting people to watch long form content on the internet anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's theoretically the pipeline now is you hook them with the short form and they stick around for the long form, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll try it. Like, the show's not going anywhere. Like, this is like a little test side project.
Oh no, we hit the 3-minute mark. Podcast is over. Bye guys.
Yeah, right. Well, see, that was another thing, dude. Like 3 minutes for shorts outside of like having to fucking line that shit up and like do all that. But yeah, like within 3 minutes, because remember when we had WebRTC 30-minute blocks?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We were using like this free WebRTC from Google.
The taco clock.
Yeah, dude. Like we had to get good, man. Like we had to lock that shit in. So we're going to try this out. So, main reason I'm telling everybody, if you see a Linux game, what is it? LG Caprice. That's us. So don't be like, there's somebody taking you. Like, don't worry about it. It's us. You don't have to watch it.
Now I'm just thinking of Capri Sun.
I'm thinking it took me way too long to make those fucking Caprice, dude. Yeah. We'll never be able to get on the horse.
Yeah, I mean, well, if the horse is wearing capris, does it wear them on all four legs or just the back one? We'll never know because it's the Steam Update. You used to it being 3 people. Fuck.
Oh man, Deckard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've been waiting for it. We have, and I'm paying a lot of attention to it. I am, man, because it's going to be ARM powered, allegedly, possibly.
I want to see the x86 powered VR headset with like the fucking 212 Evo cooling block sticking out of your head like a fucking unicorn, dude.
No, dude, and it's got the fucking PSU hanging on the back, like up at the top. Yeah,
no, the PSU is just dangling, like it doesn't quite hit the floor. It's just dangling off the back of your head,
ATX, like falling over. Yeah. Oh my shit, dude, that would be a thing. Right out of the gate this week, PCGamer.com, Valve Deckard, long rumored standalone VR headset. And again, I'm paying attention to it because of ARM, an ARM-powered faced fucker. And yeah, I really don't care about this being a VR standalone anything, man. But 64-bit Steam client and some Army Proton, I absolutely care about that. Now, what do we think this thing's going to cost? Like 2.5 Switch 2s? Probably.
See, and here's the thing, right? Is apparently Valve has been importing or has been purchasing a lot of the components for actually making the headsets here, gaskets, straps, cranks, and so on. So yeah, this might be a bid to reduce the impact of tariffs as you know, things are being heavily tariffed coming into the US these days. But I don't know. I do wonder how this would affect the price. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come in at like maybe $2,000. What does the Vision Pro go for?
Oh, see, I have no idea. I always assume like VR Valve like starts at $1,200. Like that's just my
okay. So Apple Vision Pro is $5,000 for the basic bitch model. So even $2,000 it comes in under that. I don't know. For yeah.
A fucking used car comes in for anything like that, dude. Yeah.
Well, you can buy a used car for that much. That's kind of.
That's Apple. No, I think Apple's like dialing down there. Like, oh, see, I didn't believe if we got the Apple thing. Apple's like, hey, look, it's neat, and there's like 6 people bought it. And Apple's like, it's only meant for developers now because you didn't buy a lot of them. Like,
and whenever things are like, oh, it's so expensive. Like, what does the equivalent Apple thing cost? Because like they will fucking mark up literally everything. So let's get our worst case scenario. Right?
Dude, it's wild, man. But I'm gonna say good on Valve for like continuing to innovate on VR because I can see that, you know, I want that like super light slim device, man, because I think we're like maybe like 2 generations away from VR that somebody like me and maybe you at home would be interested in, which is that light thing, standalone, pop it on your head, boom, you're immediately into whatever it is. Like maybe you don't even need Wii chucks or whatever. Like it'll do, you know, inside out hand tracking. You don't have to play with it. You know, something like that. What is it? The MetaQuest or the one that Facebook has?
the Quest is the one that's been like it has its own store, it has its own ecosystem now, and we speaking of kind of bringing it back to Valve, we've seen on the software side like Valve is pushing depositories with like Waydroid and Box 64 for getting these, and I think very likely if they're
client,
if they are going to be releasing a headset, their strategy with the Steam Deck so far has been, hey, we're just going to run whatever fucking games you have. And I think it's going to be similar here, where it's like, hey, you know, we're gonna try and bootstrap this Deckard by saying, well, it can run all of the Android clients of like the MetaQuest games, should just work. So
it'd be interesting. And like, we've come a long way from the initial announcement of these Steam, because we saw that and we're like, that's a curious like experiment that you can pull off at home, because you needed the actual stands with the lighthouses set up.
Lighthouses. Those.
Yeah, man, and a cable. So if we get some decent quality, put it on, but you're still going to need accessories. So Valve, hear me out. You know, maybe the controllers, we don't have the lighthouses, we don't have cables. So you got the headset and controllers. We still need some optional accessories. I'm thinking like a Valve, the Deckard ceiling swing. How about that?
The Deckard sex swing.
Dude, wait, why you got to be like that, man? I mean, this could be just a regular, or maybe some stirrups. But
yeah. Well, no. It's a bunch of PVC pipes that you can reconfigure into positions.
You could like hang, pretend you're Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the closet. Taking my clothes off.
Yeah, sure. However it works. Good news. You could be Spider-Man as well.
I could, but I can't do it on the Steam Deck, unfortunately. So yeah, verified Steam verified for Steam Deck is a bit of a loose term, and people are very, very excited when a new game comes out. They're like, "Can we play this on the go?" And Valve will be the first to tell you yes. But it's very much a yes, but especially when it comes to Spider-Man 2, which had a verified rating that got bumped down to playable once people actually got it in their hands and went, wait a second, this is not what you said it was. And yeah, Valve is kind of incentivized in a way to, like, you know, massage what verified means. You know, they do want to sell games on their platform. They do want to move Steam Decks. So they're gonna say, yeah, you know, Monster Hunter Wilds and Spider-Man and Star Wars and whatever, it'll run great on the Steam Deck. And it doesn't, because people like to live in this fucking fantasy world where the Steam Deck is not an undervolted like laptop CPU in a handheld case, right? Like, if you look at the minimum system requirements on old Spooderman wants at least 16 gigs of system RAM and a 5500 XT or a 1650. My friends, the Steam Deck is not that. And here's the thing: Steam Deck's a great platform, but you know, you do have to acknowledge that, like, you know, games will come out that it just cannot run. Nope. And I feel Valve needs to be a little bit more honest about this too, because this is bad messaging on their part. Again, they're incentivized to massage the truth a little bit, and they have some plausible deniability here. They're like, yeah, no, it's verified, you know.
I don't think they're against the idea, Jordan. I think it's just like something they've never had to do before. You know, it's always been like, you put up the system requirements and, you know, let flying spaghetti monsters sort it out. But
that's the thing. They do have a process. They are supposed to be looking at these things.
What makes you wonder exactly, like, is anybody actually checking this, or is this just?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I feel like it is very much a rubber stamp operation.
I mean, this took like almost 2 months before they're like, you know, enough people in our Steam Deck. Criminals, man. Absolute criminals over at our Steam Deck, because a new game comes out, somebody will be first to be like, this runs great on the deck, it's amazing. And then you get the poor guys like, this is how Monster Hunter World actually runs on the deck, and it's just a gobble of green smears. And he's like, saved you the time. You're welcome.
And it's very much like a calibrate your expectations accordingly. And like there's the notion of like the Steam Deck is kind of by design a supplemental device, but it's not being marketed as such. It's being marketed as like, hey, you can play any game everywhere. And it's not true. Like,
it's not, but they're doing something. They're the first, you know, this is a transitional product, because we're going from handhelds to consoles to this. It's a new type of device. We've never had this.
and to that point, we are getting new iterations of it. We have the Legion Go and the Acer whatever that's coming. That's going to be coming out with SteamOS. What does verified mean in the case of this? We're going to need to have some level of gradation in place as these handhelds that are officially supported by SteamOS
right
coming
now.
out.
Verified, to me personally, when I see that, it means it runs. It launches. Like, and I know that's not what they mean by that, but that's how I have to take it from just reality, man. Playable, which is the one below that, means it launches, but with extra steps, or you might have to break out a mouse or something to get through a menu. How about this? You know, I've said this on this show a couple of times, man. Like, verified requires the game to have like a Steam Deck setting and performance. Like, you know, you got high, medium, low, shitbox laptop, Chromebook, like, Steam Deck.
And like Cyberpunk has done that, like when they have a Steam Deck preset, and like to your point, like the whole point with like the verified is like, hey, this is a game that under like reasonable settings can hit 30 frames a second at 1280 by 800, right? Like that's literally it. And
that's not just for the consumer. I think that would be a good thing for the developers to say, here's your target if you want to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just remove any like, is it verified? Is it not? Maybe they'll let us get in. Like, no, just go for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do that. Valve, call me. I'll help you out. Like if I got to sit around for like 8 hours a day and fuck with settings, I'll happily do it, man. I'll happily do it. And yeah, there we go. I mean, what Jordan said is the true, but I think we all secretly know that, except for the most naive. And that's the people, and I don't mean naive in a bad way. You just got to learn, you know, you're just ignorant of it. If you bought the Steam Deck as a gaming console and just a console, you're not used to this like shit working unless you know you had a Nintendo Switch and you bought a Pokemon game. You're like, wait a minute. Or a Zelda game. Wait a minute.
No, you got to buy the Switch 2 and the $30 upgrade pack, and it might be fixed. Might be.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some game updates, starting with something I never got into. Tried to. Never happened.
You know, and we're, not completely unrelated to the previous story. This is Minecraft split screen by Arnold Smith. And this guy wanted to play Minecraft with his kids on the TV or on his Steam Deck, I guess. And So Minecraft, as you may know, the client only lets you run one player at a time. There's no split screen. I think in the Xbox version there might be, but don't quote me on that. Either way, this guy has figured out that, on your Steam Deck, you can fire up a script that will launch 4 instances, up to 4 instances of Minecraft. It detects how many controllers you have plugged in and will spawn that many windows and then automatically resize them and bind the controller to a given window. And yeah, you can play split screen Minecraft. Technically, I mean, the screen is split and you are playing Minecraft. You are running 4 instances of it.
Look at all that split, man. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that Minecraft is single threaded, but oh boy, don't try and do too much when you're running 4 players at a time. Cause that poor little laptop processor can't quite do it.
How dare you quit besmirching my gaming PC.
Now I have to bring this up because no screenshots in any of the fucking shit, but I have to assume that this is a docked Steam Deck with a dongle hooked up to a TV. Because if 4 people are, because like that was what I first read. No. Then I had to go back and be like, hold on, it doesn't actually say that. Is this person, are 4 people like huddling over one Steam Deck?
No, dude, no. You think, well, you say that, but we were talking about, we had our little tiny CRTs at our bedroom as kids. Yeah. I've been in that over at the house playing GoldenEye on those.
Okay. Mario Party for me, but yeah, same shit, right? Like,
this is like life finds a way with us, which is kind of wild. Now this is like super cool. Also, I found out like polycapital MC is different than just poly MC, which is like some piracy tool. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And it's like bypass logins, but polycapital MC is the open source Minecraft launcher for the Java edition. You're going to need that as a flat pack. And apparently the Steam Deck kind of screams a little bit as it's loading in the chunky bits.
I would imagine so. Yeah. We're maxing out each one of those 4 little CPU cores.
Pretty much. Yeah. He's like 2 people getting in, no problem. He tested it with him and his son. He's like 4 players. He's like, I loaded 4 games and only played with 2, and it didn't immediately catch on fire. So there's that. Playable. I hate playable.
Theoretically, this could also scale to like up to 8 players. Theoretically, there's nothing stopping it beyond like
Jordan
the
wants
amount of
it to
system
not only
resource.
catch on fire, but to kick down his back door and run out screeching into the night.
I want the sort of that thing from the fucking Simpsons episode. Why was I programmed to feel pain?
Okay, there you go. The alpaca's got a good thing in chat. Like, what if we dial it down? Like 300 by 200.
I thought you were gonna say like, what if we just like did 4 copies of Dwarf Fortress? I think the Steam Deck can run 4 ASCII games at once.
Probably. You think we would get more like split screen, more like It Takes Two, right?
Yeah.
That's just not a thing you see in games anymore, man. I guess we can't have it both ways. You know what? I'm just going to shut the hell up because I'm always like, give me multiplayer online.
Yeah. You know. I really wish more folks would do what like Youngblood did or what It Takes Two did, where you can just, if someone has the game, if you download the demo, you can play the game with someone else. Like that should just be like standard.
Yeah. Let's do more of that, please. Tower of Time. I don't know what it is about this month, but it has incentivized game developers to be like, didn't we make a game last decade? Shit.
April Fools.
Let's give it an update, man. Tower of Time free bonus pack DLC is absolutely here. You can play around. This probably is the most interesting thing that happened on April 12th, 2018. Why? Because I went and checked. I thought it'd be a funny thing for the show to be like, oh, yes, remember the day blank happened? And I went to the internet and the internet's like, nothing happened that day. This was it, man.
Dude, I saw this in the show notes. I'm like, this looks familiar.
Yep.
Episode 296.
It was a minute ago, wasn't it?
Fucking young. That's like that. Yeah, we're well into we're 5 away from episode 666. That's gonna be fun. No, we covered this way back when, fucking 7 years ago or some shit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a RPG. We thought it was okay. It was a little overwinded. Other people seem to like it though. And yeah, the final edition is coming out 10 or 7 years later, and it comes with a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff. They got 1080p cutscenes, a bunch of content, screenshots from earlier versions of the game, and they want to like get people to like drive the average player number up. I think it peaked at like 700-800, and they want to see if they can get that a little higher. When was that supposed to be? I don't know.
686, baby. 5.6 years ago. So something went down. Now, this is actually, they've been averaging about, 20, 25, the occasional 26 recently. And this has got it to shoot up to 181. So at least 181 people have re-downloaded and cracked this game back open. I looked, I'm like, oh, man, that would have been dope with multiplayer.
Yeah.
It didn't have it.
It's on sale now. You can get it for about 15 Canadian.
Now, it made me think, though, man. 1080p in 2025. I guess 1080p is like the modern day equivalent of 480p, when 480p was like.
Yeah, like back then it was like mostly just like 720p cutscenes. I feel that was like.
It's still got the requirement on Linux is like, you probably want to have VLC installed because the cutscenes might not play if you don't. Which,
oops.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Now, the thing I remembered about the game when I read the description, like, oh, I remember this, is like one of its gimmicks back in the day, back in 2018, was the ability to slow down or even pause during real-time combat.
Yes.
And is it what I don't know? I'm sure somebody can like help me out. Was that mechanic? I know that's something you can do in the Final Fantasy remix.
Mm-hmm.
When did that get reintroduced? Because I see like switching between characters and like when you go into the menu, everything slows down.
I want to say that's like a Kingdom Heartsism, honestly.
All right.
So probably significantly earlier than that, but like, yeah, not a lot of games were like using it necessarily. I guess Fallout, no, I mean, okay, Outer Worlds definitely uses it for their like not VATs, because like,
what are we doing? We're mentally cycling through the games that we fucking just died in when we hit the pause menu. You're like, wait a minute, what? You didn't? Oh yeah. What do you mean the game's still going? Fuck you. Where were your thoughts on that, man? Are we pause means pause or?
Yeah, I am team pause means pause. I got. Sometimes you got to go to the bathroom, man. Like. It's like,
everybody has
real
died to
gamers
a
shit
game
their
that,
pants.
Yeah, right. Like yeah, or at least give me an option to be like pause means pause. I don't need to be a sweaty gamer.
Yeah. Mom, bring me the bucket.
Oh my God.
Get the bucket, Mom. All right.
One last little bit here. So we got to continue the theme of old games getting updates. And this really brings me back to 2012 when our good friend Mega Man fell on hard times and zombies broke out, because tell me that's not Mega Man.
Yeah, when Dr. Light got bit in the jugular by a fucking zombie,
like that Mega is Man just the Mega Man face right there.
It is very Bob and George Mega Man. Yeah,
100%, man. It is. So let's get an update. Now we're going to blame the Steam Deck mainly because under Dead Pixels version 1.4, it says now with better Steam Deck support and a custom game mode. So I'm like, okay, probably a connection there. 100% on that. And well, RIP launcher. That's how they get rid of that. Oh, dude. Dark times, right? Okay. Okay.
You know, it's, sometimes you miss the Unity screen.
Ironically, yeah. Now that when you're doing the streaming, you're like, that wasn't so bad, really. Because then we
do have GameScope now, which is kind of, we have Unity Scream of Nope at home with command line. But
yes, you can definitely put things into like obey me mode on that. But yeah, they get rid of the launcher, they fix some bugs, and they've added some new menus, which this was kind of weird. They're like, if you don't like the new menus, you can just get rid of them. So
switch them back.
Yeah, you can be zombie survival Mega Man because that's who you play as. Oh, look at him. Look
Fight
at Mega Man with a shotgun.
Fight for eternal zombies. Yeah, the Linux version is brought to you by Ethan Lee and FNA, as well as today I learned about what was it, facepunch.unity, or what was it? Yeah,
what is that?
Facepunch.steamworks. That's what it was. So the Rust guys, not the insane Asahi Linux people who we'll talk about that some other time maybe. But like the Gary Newman, you know, Dangly Dingle Dongs. Apparently they put together a C# binding for Steamworks that these guys are using. They open sourced it. It's called facepunch.steamworks. And I guess if you're developing games on Unity or anything that uses like Mono or C#, this is a nicer version of the Steamworks library that just properly exposes everything as C# as opposed to just having to do a bunch of C bindings. So,
all right.
Kudos on them for open sourcing it.
Also, we should point out that the sequel to this game is coming out. There's a free demo. Straight to video. Dead Pixels 2.
2 dead, 2 pixel.
More pixels. Yeah. Pixel harder.
Dead Pixel with a vengeance.
Steam Deck's interesting. Like, this is taking a lot longer. And yes, these are just, this is just small little bits. By this time, I thought we would see more. And I think we will see more if Valve decides to do something about the deck verified bit. You know, getting more developers to go, you need a mode for the Steam Deck if you want to get Steam verified. Like, show us your work. And older games, like, which is like this weird benefit. I didn't foresee this. Going back and updating their older titles for Steam Deck compatibility, which is good because these games, a lot of these original Linux ports, dude, barely didn't run. Did not age well.
Yeah. So talking about the Unity Scream of Nope. Imagine trying to get in one of those when you launch your game on the Steam Deck.
Well, that's why I got my mouse plugged into my Steam Deck. I carry it in my pocket right here. See, I put it out and I put my mouse right here.
Right next to the pocket stand. It's the pocket mouse.
Pocket mouse. All right. I still have an NVIDIA card. Why? Because I sold my soul. Linus, he's the sacred saint of like, fuck you, NVIDIA, but I get it. Got to use DaVinci Resolve. I need my CUDA bits. This week, was it? I think it was this week, but they announced I wanted to say 30, not even 40, 50, 60, and 5060 Ti. One with 8 gigs, but the other one with 16, which kind of blew me the hell away because I had my good laugh. I'm like, oh, good. We're going to see our first $500 60 series, aren't we? They're like, no, $429, which is interesting because that's only $9 more than I paid for this 12 gig 3060. I will never forget exactly how much I paid for it because it was $420, like after everything. That was just like the round number. And you don't forget $420.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, right? Also, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to the squeaky Linus, not the one behind me.
I thought you want to give a bit of a squeak out to
a little squeak out.
A little squeak out to marijuana.
Yeah. on his main channel, I was like, all right, I'm going to see what this is about. And he was like, I'm not covering this shit. I'm like, all right. Because what NVIDIA is like, here's the 3060 Ti. We're not going to give you the 3060 to compare to. He's like, fuck you then. Like, all right, credit where credit's due on that. So, and it's good to see a lot of the tech tubers talking about the 3060 Ti, not focusing on what I lovingly call the gimmicky bullshit, which is the DLSS and the frame generation. But speaking of frame generation, we got some gimmicky bullshit headed to Linux, ladies and gentlemen, in the form of 575-5102 Linux drivers, which also has support for the 5060 Ti. Plenty of things to play around.
Not the 5060 though, apparently.
No. Actually, yeah, it does have a 5060.
Does it?
Yeah.
No. Look at the end of that list, baby.
All right. Well,
conspicuous.
In all fairness, the 5060 doesn't come out until next month. So
yeah. In all fairness, they're not expecting anyone to actually buy it.
No, probably not, man. They've added support for NVIDIA Smooth Motion. We get that on Linux, which I immediately went, the hell is Smooth Motion? It is the driver-based AI model that smooths out gameplay by adding additional frames. I'm like, okay, so it's like frame gen. They're like, no, Vin. No. This doesn't require it to be built in. I can just automatically, this is like the Smooth Motion on your TV, the soap opera mode, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like built in using AI.
Oh my god! Random aside, I remember when I got my TV and I hooked it up like the built-in Netflix app, and I remember watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it had the fucking soap opera mode, and like Data looks so weird, just moving like a fake person because he's like purposefully doing the robot thing. Spiner's doing the robot thing in the show, but motion smoothing's like, don't give a shit about that. You're walking like a regular dude.
Like, this fucking looks wrong. I'm having flashbacks of watching high frame rate Lord of the Rings. What was that? 48 FPS.
The Hobbit.
Yeah, right.
No, or watching old British soap operas,
dude. But there was some Raven's Cry, man. I legitimately wanted to try this. I'm like, okay, I want to see how much more broken we can make that game. Couple of legitimate things in this. If you're running an NVIDIA card, the 80+%, I think it's higher than that now. People who have discrete GPUs. So there's some fixes for the Marvel Rivals and Minecraft, which is good. Apparently there was a crash with Marvel Rivals, and some fixes for compatibility fixes for old man Waylon. He's still getting on in years, but he's the new kid on the block. What is night mode on GNOME? I'm using GNOME. Like, you're on GNOME right now. If I press this button,
yeah, I'm on GNOME right now. So there's a like it's the iStrain mode thing, right? Where
I got one more.
Yeah, got one more. No compiz effects. No flaming windows or wobbles.
This is all I got. Shut up. Leave me alone.
This is all I have now. They took my cube away from me. They took my cube away from no. But yeah, the basically the iStream mode, it removes the blue from images. You can set it on like kick in at around sunset or whatever. GNOME will automatically figure it out for you. KDE has it as well. But yeah, apparently nighttime it would cause GNOME to also go to sleep, by which I mean crash, and that no longer causes.
Okay, see, I thought you were talking about
drivers.
The first thing I do in GNOME on these ARM machines is like cut on like the dark mode. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. Like, wait. And the second thing I do is I disable all the power saving stuff. So, all right.
No. Yeah, no, I use the iStream mode thing. I don't know if it helps, but like doesn't hurt.
I tried that on my Android device because I got like two options. I got like the like red tint, blue tint, and then I got the one that works better to put me to bed is the one that just makes everything black and white.
Yeah, that one is the one that's on.
You realize like how like hooked we are on fucking colors when everything's just monotone. You're like, it's not as interesting.
Yeah, the stimulation just isn't there anymore.
You're not looking for one of those thumbnails that pops, and you're like, oh, yeah. I'm gonna watch that, man. Will I get a 5060 Ti at 429? I'm not tempted, but I don't fucking know, dude. I'd like something other. I've had NVIDIA cards since the 2000s, like maybe 2000.
You crave that novelty,
or just something else. I mean, I got the Intel Arc card, couldn't end up using that, but like we were talking earlier, man, like the B580s are just starting to trickle in. I don't know. We'll see. God damn, it's tempting though. Like, which is sad that 429 is tempting. Like we've been properly conditioned.
That was like almost a 980.
Almost. That was like a 970 and a couple of AAA titles back in the day.
That was a 970 Ti and a game. Yeah.
Oh man. At least there's still. When do you think we're going to get to the point where we're just legitimately going to have the full, NVK stack? Well, like everything works now. It's like it's more of a performance thing for the open source backend.
I think there's always going to be like some degree of catch up just because of like the nature of how games work, and like there's always going to be like game specific code paths required and so on and so forth. But like for like 90% of usage, yeah, I think we're pretty close, honestly.
Well, I mean, like everybody uses the open source drivers for AMD.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, like that's also because, like, back in the day, FGLRX and then AMD VLK and all that shit was just complete garbage. And so everyone else is like, let's take it upon ourselves. NVIDIA, had a server had a healthy business server market they needed to attend to, and so they made good Linux drivers, and so we never really had too much in the way of.
And AMD still, with like a big throbbing passion, loves all things Linux desktop, dude.
They really do.
They zero fucks. I walk people through. A very popular and very people get angry at me thing is they have to install DaVinci Resolve at work. So they have to install the AMD GPU Pro drivers, and just the nightmare stories I get from them. And I'm like, bro, I just said it could be done. I didn't say it was fun, man. Do you think you'll ever buy another NVIDIA card?
I mean, the only reason I went with AMD was like the price performance. I'm not like ideologically attached to Intel or AMD or NVIDIA, right? It's basically at the moment what is offering me like the best bang for my buck. So, if NVIDIA, if once like the leather jacket consumes all the nutrients within Jensen and seeks out a new host, and they have some new ideas about the NVIDIA pricing, maybe the prices will come down, and maybe I will buy an NVIDIA card when it comes time to upgrade again. I'm not opposed to it.
I don't know, man.
I just don't want to spend like 5080 prices, right?
Dude, 5090 3, they start at $3,000 right now.
Yeah, that's why it's absurd.
It's just like $3,000 for a video card, just imaginary money for me.
Like, dude, I gotta buy a new washer dryer, man. Like,
right. Like as you get older, your price performance comes down to your brain goes, all right, what could I buy with that amount of money? Yeah. And there's always something, but I don't know, man. Like if I just had a desktop PC I would 100% get AMD. Why? Wayland support. Wayland is the future. Everything's going to be moving to Wayland. And
it, like if you're just doing, and I'll say, coming from the NVIDIA side, if you're just looking for like a start it up and fucking start doing shit experience, the AMD experience under Linux is top tier. Great.
Apt install AMD Radeon firmware -firmware.
Apt install FGLRX, and then it just removes the desktop environment because you didn't read the fucking apt prompt.
All right.
Let's talk about floppies.
This is one of the fastest fucking rolls I've seen, dude.
Yeah. Whoa, that's going right. So contrary to popular wisdom, maybe you should have copied that floppy. A lot of people did, and they put this up on DiscMaster, which is a archive of pre-internet computer stuff. And by internet, I mean like not BBSs, which is technically internet work, but whatever. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, videos, images, models, programs, documents, what have you, ripped from old tapes, floppy disks, FTP sites, Usenets, whatever. It's largely unindexed. It was largely unindexed and unsearchable until these guys decided to curate it. Yeah, I thought I shot a few searches through, and yeah, there's a lot of old porn there. Very, very low resolution porn, just like our standards back then. It didn't take much. If it was a pixelated booby,
How dare you? Look at the high quality shit I found.
Look at that DS9. Yeah,
that's actually not bad, isn't it?
Honestly, like,
by 600, yeah.
I think that's probably from like a Star Trek game. Like straight up.
Somebody okay.
Yeah.
What about these JPEGs? Yeah, there we go. That's a little more.
Yeah.
What was it? Amiga? What? Amiga format CD38. All right.
I knew there was like a Deep Space Nine game for the Super Nintendo.
There we go.
Quark.
Oh my god.
This is post-Warf. Okay. This is season 6. Season 5 when they have the no, that's Esri. This is season 7.
All right, shit, yeah.
This is season 7. Okay. But yeah, so DiscMaster, lots of random shit on there. You can peruse it. Warning, there might be some weird Nazi shit. There might be some porn. This is again unindexed, unfiltered. There is a safe search at your own peril. I looked for dragon and I found, just because I figured there's probably going to be some weird dragon porn. There is not weird dragon porn, but there is still porn if you search for it. But anyhow, itch.io, they're hosting the DiskMaster Game Jam, where they want you to take a bunch of this shit, just random assets, music, whatever, make some games with this crap, man. There's a lot of it. Who the fuck knows? Make something weird, trippy, do your frog fractions, do your inscriptions, but do something weird with it. There's just like so much shit here.
I'm like terrified to scroll live, so I gotta come back.
Like literally, I was thinking, oh, you could make a game where all the dialogue is just extracted from text that was hosted here, right? Like
the color palette 256 Master Race, baby.
Eat it, you fucking clown!
Yeah, this is wild, man. So if you sign up for this, they're going to be like, all right, randomly assign this pack to you. And they're going to give you there's a couple of stipulations to this nonsense, man. You don't go, yeah, that's a cool story. We're going to design all our stuff. You got to use at least 50% of your game assets, be it music, the visuals and all that. But if you use 100%, there's like a bonus soda thrown in for you. Internet Archive is going to be sponsoring this. So it's a chance to win $1.7 thousand, which will buy you 1/3 of a 5090.
Mm-hmm.
Game Jam 21 through 28. So this thing starts Monday. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, man, I'd like to jam my game, get on it. There'll be a link in the show notes. You can head over to DiskMaster. Actually, it's on itch. Is it? Yeah,
itch.io.com/jam.
-jam, yeah.
Links to all this stuff is in our show notes. Go click on that. No, you got to type in the URL as we're fucking reading it out on the podcast.
Do it, coward.
Speaking, that's how you should do one of your fucking interfacing Linux videos. It's just like type in the exact fucking thing. make them rewind if they, yeah.
No, let's do a search for Linux. Maybe that'll be a safe search. Give me Linux.
No, it's not.
Well, hang on. Format. What? Linux item. How do I? Okay. So the DiscMaster textfiles.com is probably the tool that you're going to lose an entire afternoon playing around with.
Yes.
Image. Okay. Let's YOLO this. We're going for Linux, quick and deep. I'm just going for quick. No deep.
That's what they called me back in college, baby. Quick and not deep.
Look at, oh no.
Linux.
Pixels.
Oh my God.
That's a shork.
Dude, that would have taken like 5 minutes to download on a fucking dial-up connection.
Dude, that would have taken an afternoon to render that shit. Oh shit. What about Linux game?
This is the copy of Rogue.
Oh man.
Cool Linux. Foot Linux. Nope.
Zero.
Doesn't exist.
Get wrecked. Go away. Linux games, maybe?
I would figure if games is not. Okay, fair enough. Exact text.
Let's go. Linux Cubed series, Linux Games 8. And there's some dice on there.
You can play craps on Linux.
Oh, is this the back of it? Let's go.
Welcome.
Linux.
Doom SVG. Oh shit. All right. It's got some stuff.
3D chess, Jet Set. Do I remember
like
any of these?
Five Dooms.
Yeah. Battalion, Galaxis,
Solitaire, Quake, Space Boom. Not completely unrelated to Space Jam, although I want to see Space Boom versus Space Jam now.
Oh my God. Man.
Moria. Okay. Yeah. Hang Band. Okay. So there's some like actual fucking games on here.
Omeron Systems Incorporated. Now, I was talking to Jordan, like we were doing some alternative searches. Go back, if you're one of our patrons, go listen to that talk. What exactly we were. I'd completely forgotten like the aesthetic of the flatbed scanner GIF. Like so much of the early internet was just that. No color correction, no brightness, no contrast. It was like scan it, post it. And you had to wait forever. Because I don't think GIFs had, what is it, the interleave?
Yeah, and well, graphical interchange format. Yeah, interlacing?
I don't remember what, the one that lets it download and you could watch it download. Where you didn't have to wait for the entire thing. You could be like, oh, here it comes. Yeah.
Watching the naked lady appear one line at a time.
You know what? Like the early days, it wasn't like, I think it was more of a, you know, definitely not like a moral thing or anything with me. It was more of the bandwidth restriction of like, because we would go to a website to like load a website, and I shit you not, even in my teenage years, because I remember I had like, I had been like 14 or 15, because I remember going to my friend Mike's house, and we would load a web page, and we'd go have a smoke on the back deck. And then we'd come back. And you browsed with images off. Like shit was that slow back then, dude. So wild times, man. Wild.
Marquee tags, baby.
Anchor tag, man. Let's bring everybody start using anchor tags again. Like it's still supported. Like
when I write documentation, I still use anchor links because bring me to this fucking point in the page.
Right. All right. So I made a thing. I did a thing. You
made a video.
I made a entire guide for the Magewell Eco M.2 HDMI capture card. I picked this thing up, man, just because I was like, I want to see what this thing is, man. Because like I've been looking at NVMe drives for years, and I'm like, this shit would be so much cooler if it had some HDMI ports on it. And when I saw it,
now your dream has been answered.
HDMI RAID 0, baby. I'm telling you, the dream has come. Maybe not, but I did want to see
a little happy face, the little bracket.
Yeah, okay. These things are unobtainium. All right, there's exactly one place that you would think, man. So what are we talking about? This is a M.2 HDMI dual HDMI capture card made by Magewell, so you know it's fuck you because that's why expensive. But it's got 2 breakout cables on it that you can attach to some brackets, which are not included. So I go on a search. I'm like, type in HDMI. You will find backplates, right? But they're going to have like HDMI because they're for like random video cards, you know, like people on eBay have went to like e-waste things and taken them off and put them on. One place on the entirety of the internet, ModDIY, where you can get just an HDMI backplate and a dual, you know, for like half height or just full height. Then we got to talk about the screws.
Not the tiny little M.2 screws. There are other screws, yeah.
Nah, man, yeah, like to screw the HDMI ports into the plates. Fortunately, oh man, I was so worried about that. Like these little fucking screws, they're M305s.
Okay,
305s. I was like, yes, they just go right in. And there it is. It's you're using. This is the exact box Jordan's on right now, which is like a ITX plus Razda. And it's hanging out down here in the corner. Can't really see it. And it's got a little, I mean, it works. It does a good job.
Linux just picked it up. There's no like drivers or anything you had to worry about.
Well, let's start with the first section, x86 drivers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So no, I gave you instructions for Debian and Fedora because you need to compile some kernel drivers. And I know as soon as you like have to compile software, I try to make it as easy as possible so you too can get the best message, install successfully. Not successful, but successfully.
Congratulations.
This is probably not the hottest capture card for those of you out there, the high frame rate enthusiasts, because you know it does 1080p 60. If you want to wind it up to 1440, it's only going to do 30. But I mean, it'll downscale anything that you're going to feed it. But it sure as hell beats having a bunch of dongles flopping around. If you don't like dongles, and I don't like if you need 2 capture inputs, probably a good idea, maybe take a look at it. And it's like the previous Magewell PCI Express capture card. This is an absolute steal. How much do you think these things cost retail? If you had to guess by reading your return video.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just off the top of your head.
My initial guess was going to be like $150, but $385. I guess this is Magewell prices, right?
This is Magewell doesn't typically sell to consumer. They're a sell to, like companies that are building things. They're building like ingestion servers and things like that. But because there's no way to buy anything directly from Magewell, you got to get it from third party. $385, and this is like that special one too, because there's like 6 people like looking for this. Now, why would you actually look for an M.2 outside of just curiosity being neat? I talk about it in the video on Interfacing Linux. Go check this out, watch the video, and I tell you, there's logic behind this, because I use this as an example, like the original AMD Ryzen motherboard I bought, mid-range B series. It had 2 by 16 slots on it, a couple of PCI slots, and I could buy one. And I look at the the newer Ryzen motherboard I have of the same series. It's got a by 16 slot on it. And I'm like, well, you pop a GPU on that, you're done, man. Or if you have an ARM board, you're just going to be shit out of luck, but you might have an M.2. And these PCI Express lanes have been repurposed, because you typically will have at least 2, even on a cheap board. You might be able to sneak it in. And here's the cool thing, though. Let me see. Do you remember the Magewell like buy 4 card I bought a while back? Yeah. Apparently,
was
eBay.
that the one that like was not having it with fucking the motherboard for whatever reason?
No, that was the one that was like, it was to replace that. Like we lucked up because I saved up for like 2 years to get the one that we're using right now.
Yeah, it just like it didn't work on Threadripper for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah, and Blackmagic genuinely took 380 days to get back to the support ticket. And when I lucked up in the meantime, I found the Magewell quad. That Blackmagic card was like 560 something bucks. The Magewell one was $899. But what happened? Your good friends at Deckard, maker of the laptop.
Yes. Dude.
They had apparently had a project, so they had ordered hundreds of those cards to do something with. Never did anything, and they end up at, the clearance electronic resellers. Yeah. So somebody was selling them for like $300, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm already in for $5. I need something that works, and ended up getting that. The same things happened here. I don't know if it was Dell, but I can tell you, this shit's down to curiosity, fuck around price. $68.
So some higher up at Dell has a problem with ordering Magewell products.
I don't know if this was from Dell, but they're all over eBay right now. Like, this is the guy I bought mine from, $68. How many does he have in stock after I've posted the I don't know. You have to click and find out. Now, if you're one of our Interfacing Linux patrons, you got first crack at it, and I don't know why. Chrome Beta does not like
the site.
No, eBay, you get one crack at eBay and it just freezes the damn thing. So, do you know why you would want a PCI Express HDMI capture card over a USB one?
Over USB one? I guess the
yes.
idea...
Why would you want a PCI Express on an external USB one interface? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because you're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you would probably want, like, if you want to run some like fucking capture shit. I don't know. Because like the USB capture cards, they're like not super great.
You can get good ones.
This is true.
I'm Magewell shill, dude, because I know that shit works on Linux, dude.
Fair enough, right?
Oh, yeah. Go check it out, play with it. You want what is that sound?
What sound?
I was hearing some background noise from you. Yeah.
Someone's walking upstairs, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, could have been that. So you want something like that, what I point out in the video is USB is good enough for government work. Don't worry about it. But at this price, if you want lower latency, better image quality, this can do it. And this gets really interesting. I don't know for why anybody would ever need it, but these are just buy 2 PCI Express Gen 2. Oh, you could stack one of these on like one of those NVMe card maker motors.
Right, yeah, one of the like one of the bifurcation or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, you could probably set up a bunch of them.
Well, you can. That's why it's got like these switches in the middle of them.
Okay.
You can have up to 4 in one system. Like that's to assign the device ID.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Oh. If you're kind of trying to build your own TriCaster video toaster thing, this might be like a.
You could have theoretically, so what, 2, 4, you'd up to 8 inputs for fuck all reason.
Yeah, if you're, I can think of like, watching a lot of Magic the Gathering YouTube. A lot of people have like complicated camera setups to like be able to look at the full table and individual people's hands and so on. So like, yeah, if you're trying to bring up something like that,
or if you need to put it on an ARM board, or if you got something like that HP Elite Desk, that little super thin mini desktop.
You need a capture card for that. And
you can put that in there and not have to worry about a dongle bag, because something like that's going to be portable and you don't want to worry about that bouncing around in your bag and all that fun stuff. So there we go. I said my piece. Go watch the video, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't, you know what? We can still be friends, but yeah, like and subscribe. Do the things you do. I don't know. Before we get out of here, a little bit of hate mail this week, or as Jordan called it,
a short novella.
Yeah, so it's Steam Deck stuff, man. I was wondering where this was going, but I was like, oh, here it is. All right,
yeah. So I will do my attempt to go through this as quickly as possible. This is from Tropic 150, and they say, I've had a base Steam Deck for 2 years, and it has some novelty, but I kind of ultimately find it to be miserable. I like Linux. I like what it has done for Linux gaming. It's a neat piece of hardware.
I hear like Skeletor when I hear him.
Key-Man, you make me miserable. Well, Sandy's not here. I'm gonna save that for when he's back. Anyways, it's a neat piece of hardware, but unless you truly want it as an all-in-one emulation deck, you have such an underwhelming use case for it. You can play indie games that run on absolutely everything and come out on everything, or maybe you like it for something like Yakuza, but that's about where it taps out, along with it not being the greatest experience. Using the Steam Deck as a Steam dedicated device has made me realize how much I actually just hate what Steam has to offer. People emulate Japanese games made 30 years ago. Yeah, back in my day.
I hate Steam so much, I'm going to buy a Steam Deck. Yep.
Because they still crush most bug people from Portland, those fucking it's all tremors up in Portland, baby, are making in the Unity RPG Maker. And because it can't run most new things in Unreal Engine 5, you're waiting for these weird games to land in this zone of semi-PC exclusive, but also not too dependent on mouse or menus. What at first feels like this new era of handheld PC gaming ends up feeling like you have this giant GIMP brick in your hand with an awful battery life for games that would run the same on a PS3.
I don't believe any of that.
No?
Nope. I think somebody just wanted to hate on Steam. This is the preamble of like, how do I stage this to hate on Steam?
Yeah, like I don't know his statements about like ripping off Japanese games that are better. I think like overall there are higher quality games coming out. It's not so much not to say that like every game that's coming out is quality, but I think like given the volume and the improved technology, I think there's plenty of stuff to play on the Steam Deck, and like it's not a replacement for your desktop PC, but there's definitely some PC games that I would rather play on a handheld form factor. Baldur's Gate 3 is nice on there. Slay the Spire. A lot of people use it as their fucking Balatro machine. I'm saying a lot of card games now. But like Hades, stuff like that. I don't know. Like I said, like I was saying earlier, there's definitely a use case for it. You can play some games, but not all. And I really think people are doing the deck a disservice by saying that it can run everything, rather than like saying this is good for these types of games, or like even like I honestly feel the biggest strength for the Steam Deck is like very long games that you want to pick up and play for like maybe 15-20 minutes at a time. That handheld form factor makes it really easy and really convenient to do.
It is. And yeah, to what you said, dude, people always want to sneak in like that. Oh man, I run into that, like, it's kind of comical because we're talking about like round trip latency for audio devices. that's a set thing. There's no tuning or performance you can do to like get it below a certain number. And like I've absolutely run into people like, yeah, mine's a little bit lower than that. I'm like, no, it's not, dude. They physically can't go any faster than that. Like that's a hard set. And yeah, so people are like, of course,
it's
yeah,
like I have a 0-point module and I'm operating a time dilation field, right?
But people do that with the Steam Deck, and I see that on our Steam Deck, and people are like, no, it runs great. Yeah, don't. Like cheerleading does more damage than anybody being negative ever has in this entire world, because like people will take that, they'll run it, they'll have a bad experience, and they're not going to blame the person who was cheerleading. They're going to blame the fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah. And it's like, here's the thing. If you want to play your UE5 graphically demanding game on the Steam Deck, more power to you, but you are going to have to make some sacrifices. These games are not like, people are talking about like how shit the games run on like the Switch. This is the exact same fucking problem, right? The only thing is that Valve isn't going, this is the only thing that you will ever have offered. So this is the definitive experience of The Witcher 3 or Dark Souls or whatever on the Steam Deck or the Nintendo Switch, right? Like this sort of conceit doesn't exist.
Well, think about the alternate darkest timeline where Valve does the Steam Deck, but it runs a special version of Steam, and it only plays games that have actually been verified to run at 720p 30. It won't even let you access it. There's no hacks around it. It's completely closed off. Would that make you happy?
No, nothing. Nothing makes me. But like, so what's interesting about the Steam Deck as well as like a product is that it kind of does have that very broad appeal in that it is a tinkering device, but you can also use it as just sort of like a pick up and play console. And I think it's a good gateway drug. I think having these sort of games where like you can tweak stuff and make it run better teaches people to start digging into their systems and making them a little bit more aware of like what their computer is doing and how it's doing things, and reduces their dependency on their local IT person. And I think overall that's a good thing.
And on top of that, you bring up emulation in the post, like, guess what you can run on the Steam Deck? Emulators. Yeah. And I'll take a Steam Deck over. As somebody who's like spent some time dicking around with RPCS3, which is like, fuck that noise. I'll take a PC game any day. There you go. If you want to get in touch with us, drop us a note under the video that you're watching, be it on Patreon.
Especially on Patreon.
Yeah. Double special, double espresso. Yeah, a double shot.
Espresso.
Double shot of espresso. Because you get your own higher quality, higher audio, no commercials that you can just download and do anything you want. By supporting the show, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast, you get that mysterious pre super shows. And if you're like, shit, I need more time of this in my ears and video.
Need more Cure. The Cure soundtrack.
Nobody can be the Crow. You think next week we just all dress up as a Crow?
Next week I'll just show up with the fucking makeup. No, I'm going to show up as Crow-T Robot from Mystery Science Theater.
Okay, you can do that, but now I'm thinking like I want to dress as the devil as the Crow. Yes. Oh, come hang out with us in our super secret Discord if you are a Twitch sub, Patreon, or YouTube sub. Link that shit up. It's under the live thing over at linuxgamecast.com. And of course, thank you for your support. Naming the credits, which we are about to roll, because it's time to cue that music, everybody. You can always find us right here on Twitch Saturday night. Come make the live show. Come say hi and chat like how people do, man. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm on all the social medias. Just look for Venstone. I'm still the only one, which is strange, and I'll get back to you. I'll do that. If you get some tech questions about audio, video production, gaming, head over to interfacinglinux.com. Use the forums. That's what they're there for. I'll get back to you.
I'm Jordan, and what am I supposed to be, a clown? Well, sometimes. Follow me on Blue Sky at Frojo at bsky.social or Frojo at mass.linuxgamecast.com.
Yeah. How many people do you follow on Blue Sky? I need more people to follow.
How many people? I followed a bunch of starter packs too, so I don't have a hard number.
I need to go back and revisit those. I've been on Blue Sky for a long time, and like last time I like went looking, there were like 6 of us on Blue Sky.
How the fuck do I have more followers than people I'm following on Blue Sky?
Oh shit, you're famous.
Wait,
son.
No, that's on Mastodon. I clicked on the wrong. One moment. Oh, come on.
No.
Damn you, Blue Sky. All right, I'm following 188 people on Blue Sky.
Wow. Time for some credits.
Bye.
Nobody can be the Crow.
Gotta put that makeup on, put my fishnets, and put a bunch of electrical tape around my torso. Just like all these advisors, like Arthur and our executive producers, 12345, Ian Kurducky, drummer, the Targos, Barbram, Scott, Atomic, and everyone wearing
Chicago
black eyeliner,
kicks
Glorious
ass.
Eggy, Pazel, MT, and Casey Clism.
Sea Monsters, John, Dirty Dean, Angle, The Mentor, System TRL, Rider X Machina, Mihai, Veritanuda, Truggy, Mike, Kjore. I gotta find the right screen to read their name here.
We got Death Notes, Redisc, Mark, Tara, Benjamin, Chad, Romeo, Chris, Jill, Sheep, Steve Hawk, DX Ghost Hawk. Got a Chairlings, Beckett, Tim, Euthanasia,
What about
Smishel, Drock, Brock,
Door-to-door
Gronkalonga, Zim, Lynn Prof 99, and we got Sir not appearing in this film, Sandy and Shoddy.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, have a great rest of your week, everybody. And maybe if you check later in the week, there will be the LG Caprice.
LG Capri Sun, stick your
You
straw
too.
in our sack.
We can ship our pants.
Are they pants or are they shorts, though?
This is the question. Capri Sun, baby. Oh,
Schrodinger's garments.
Diedify, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Schrodinger's underwear.
Schrodinger's thong, baby.
Yeah. Schrodinger's G-string.
5 dudes.